Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here. Let's play some more Total War Attila in our Eternal Empire: The Restoration series. We have a couple battles to fight this episode. I'm going to try to fit two in. We'll see. But we have this toe-to-toe battle. We're going to have to rotate the turn first. We have this toe-to-toe battle between Legio 12 Fidelis and the Thunderbolts of Tania in Astarica. And that's one of the largest, that is the largest remaining army of Hispania. Now, they could turn tail. As you may recall in the end of the last episode, I kind of advanced on Astarica to see if I could attack it with the army, and that's when I discovered that it was occupied by its own army, and I wanted to fight the battle in this episode. So by virtue of the fact that I used up my movement points, while the turn is cycling, they might move. We'll see. But on top of that, we also have some armies bearing down on Aquae Sextiae. And one of the reasons that that is a big deal to capture is actually the reason it's a big deal to capture, is that it's really the only remaining territory that we don't control that's on the inner border of the Mediterranean. After that, we pretty much control the seas. And here's the thing, too. This is not even a coastal city. So technically, we already control the coast. But just as far as having a solid purple line and having a total border here. Also, the Caledonians control Alusa, but we took control of Bertigala, ancient Bordeaux, in the last episode. So as a result of that, it's going to be pretty easy to evict them from this section of the map. Our main conquests that we have ahead of us are these. Just taking over Iberia, and then we're going to move all these armies up this direction, because as you can see, they've got a lot going on. They do. They have some serious armies up in this direction that could cause me a little bit of pain. We're going to have to see how it goes. But at the same time, I've got plenty of armies of my own, and we are ready to wreck them and send some armies up north to pay them a visit. We also have some navies coming east to west to help out in Iberia, and then they're going to sail around and head up north to help in Britannia. And also possibly the conquest of Rhodomagus. You never know, depending on how that goes. So let's go ahead and end the turn. Another issue is that we still do not have a legitimate heir. Eutropius, his son died very early on in the series, in Eternal Empire proper, the original series, not the Restoration. And he adopted a child he adopted a son that then failed to have a child with his wife. And even his legitimate daughter has failed to have a child. So there's no legitimate heir to the throne. The only children he's had that have had a successful lineage, as is usual in Attila, unless you mod things, is, and I'm using a mod called Child Chance Tweaks. I really thought that they'd be better as a result of this, but it's the same crap. Attila is forcing, not Attila itself, Attila the game, is forcing me to just deal with illegitimate children left and right. It's ridiculous. If you don't marry someone right away, they're going to have a bunch of illegitimate kids. And the game seems to like producing illegitimate children much more than it likes producing legitimate children, which really just doesn't make any sense. In a game like Crusader Kings 2, which is all about dynasty, granted, illegitimate children can happen, but if two people are married, especially if they're young, they're having babies, period. Like, they're going to have children because that's what you did. That's just how it was. So anyway, aside from that, 3 large Pictish armies, including the Pictish king, just moved in from Londinium to North Francia. So it is on. We also have an army here. We might not fight for control of Astarica just yet, because the army near Pompelo has bigger fish to fry. That's one of the final large armies of the Suebians, so it'll be worth paying them a visit. Hey, Rhodomagus is being abandoned. That's good news. But I can't quite move this army out of Duracortum. Oh man, they're completely abandoning it. Stupid move. Alright, they definitely have a lot of armies down, ready to push back against us. Oh, the Suebians are attacking Caesar Augusta, and we actually have a decent chance against them, because this is a wow. This is a crappy army they're attacking with. I'm going to... Tell you what, I'm going to fight this on the battlefield. We're going to fight it in the city, not outside of the city, because outside of the city, we're more likely to get torn apart by their artillery. But they have a couple of artillery units that are wounded. The majority of their units are not in good shape, so we can set up some good defensive lines and probably win this battle pretty easily. And the artillery might not even ever become a legitimate factor. What we might be able to do is let their main forces charge in while the artillery are slowly rolling in. And then once their forces are kind of worn down, having crashed against our defensive walls, we can ride these horsemen out and take care of the artillery, if the artillery haven't already turned tail. This is a large army, but it's hurting. Because the Suebians are hurting. The Suebians don't have territory anymore, so it's natural that they be a little frustrated. These are the Etunaz Slayers. I remember reading that name before. So I think we were looking at them maybe 2 or 3 episodes back. Just kind of hanging out in the mountains, just in the Iberian wilderness. Battle of Caesar Augusta, 472 AD. So we're just defending with a garrison, but the garrison is healthy. The garrison's in good shape. And also the town is in good shape. And as you can see, it's been rebuilt in the Roman image, which is awesome. All right, so it looks like they've got all the artillery. They've got one artillery over here. Oh, wait. Interesting. Okay, so they're attacking from 3 different directions. That's adorable. Well, hang on then. What would be the smartest move? Tell you what, let me go ahead. This is actually a lot to defend. This is more than I was expecting. So here's what we're going to do. These spearmen are apparently not going to be placed. All right, they're going to go right there and go in testudo. These spearmen are going to defend here. Okay, then I'm going to have archers there and archers there. Now these Preventores are my medium infantry, but they're actually not as heavy as these Eastern Armored Legio. So they're actually better than the Preventores. So let's put the Preventores here front and center. And we'll have them testudo up as well. And you know what? I'll go ahead and just put their buddies in behind them. Not in testudo form, but ready to support. Now these guys are in a bit of a different position because now I've got the area locked down and I don't really need to do anything else. My cavalry need the flexibility to charge on... Alright, so their artillery is here and here. I kind of want to have my cavalry right here, just ready to charge out and harass them. You know, I want to be able to attack their ranged units early. So what I'm going to do is get the cavalry out, but not go straight for them. I'm going to come this way and see if they can ignore the cavalry, which will then give the cavalry a chance to come around and hit artillery there, and maybe artillery there as well. So the Preventores, I'm just going to tell you what, as a barricade, let's set this one up just to make their life difficult. And we are going to... It is impossible to get units to spread out along walls like this. Okay, so we're just going to stand like so. Alright, so they're going to hold the barricade. And also, the advantage of that is if any enemies do come in this direction, then I'll be able to just flank them. We can crush them from both sides here. I'm actually tempted, tell you what, just to make these guys a little bit safer, I'm going to put them right here. That way it'll be even faster. Just the ability to just come down and sandwich anyone that charges in this direction. Let's go ahead and start the battle. Alright, so I've got the horses spreading out. The artillery is not really close, but they are firing on my horsemen. However, their units are ignoring my horsemen, which is exactly what I wanted. They have not killed any of my horsemen yet. Time to go mess with their artillery and take those out of the equation. The enemy approaches. That worked well. I'm going to have to keep an eye on how everything else is going, but if we can knock their artillery out of the equation, then their morale would be substantially reduced. We also have some Germanic crossbowmen here that we can knock out as well. Alright, so the onagers are being taken out. You guys are It's saying combat is even. These are not as powerful of a cavalry unit. Okay, there we go. Losing decisively. Shaken, recent casualties sustained. Alright, they have turned around. So what we're going to have to do now is... Alright, that's taken care of. We're going to get them out. I don't want to take many casualties with my cavalry. Alright, so they're going to go around and hit the artillery unit. Meanwhile, let's pay attention to what's going on over here. They're going to cut down this tower. There's nothing I can really do to stop them, but I'm not interested in stopping them. I want them to come closer with their units. Looks like their main force is really this one over here. Alright, that tower's been destroyed. What we're going to have to do after we eliminate the artillery is kind of see what the rest level of the cavalry is, because the cavalry are going to get tired doing all this mess. Okay, let's go ahead and switch to... Actually, let's see if we can go ahead and kill the general. That was not successful at all, but the general is charging my spear wall, which is incredibly stupid. He's going to die. Yeah, he's the only one left. Kill him. Kill him, damn it. Okay. Alright, my cavalry, as usual, are sitting still. They can't take orders. You saw the orders that I gave them. Okay, enemy general's dead. Alright, let's get them to Testudo back up. So far, the line is holding. With the enemy general dead, their chances of winning are substantially reduced. Now, the barricade here is being broken down. So... How close is it to being broken down? It's really not. So... Okay, so they've charged in and they're hitting this wall. These units, it's saying they're losing decisively. How's that? Alright, tell you what, well, let's back them up. And there is a fight going on over here as well. Our general is being hit by these noble swordsmen, but we have archers taking them out. So we're going to bring these swordsmen over here to kind of back up this battle, because it's saying that we're losing decisively, which is crazy to me, but that's what the game is claiming. Alright, now let's come back in. We don't have to worry about loose formation anymore. The cavalry have killed. I was going to say the cavalry are dead. The cavalry are not dead. The cavalry are very much alive. They are fresh now. They got a chance to rest, so now we're going to knock out these crossbowmen from the back, and then come around and knock those out as well. Alright, you guys charge in and help out. Let's go ahead and pile in and improve the odds over there. The enemy is at the walls. Is that so? Okay, so we're about to sandwich units just like we promised. The barricade is barely damaged. Let's go ahead and pay these guys a visit. Tell you what, let's go ahead and bring these guys down. Let's go all in. Alright, I feel like we need to be attacking these guys, not their archers. Alright, so speaking of ranged units, we are taking care of their crossbowmen with our cavalry over here. Notice the odds of the battle are swinging in our favor. Combat is even here now, so we are holding the line here. We are not holding the line there. Why are you guys not firing on that unit? They're firing on this unit way over here instead of on the one that can actually do damage. Alright, now we're going to bring our cavalry in to pay a visit to these guys, which should help out tremendously. Alright, these guys are definitely in losing shape. Alright, let's see if we can switch to flaming ammunition on these guys, because my mind is blown. I guess they're very heavy melee infantry against very heavy spear infantry, so you'd expect that. Alright, our cavalry have arrived to mess up the day of the artillery units here, so they're taken care of. Now let's charge in from the back and finish this battle quickly, because we need to get these units over there as fast as possible. Cavalry, do your thing. Hey guys, attack from the back. You don't like that, do you? They never ever do. I wonder why. The men are broken and running for their lives. That's not good. So these units over here are losing. This is not going well enough for my taste, but these units are breaking. So if these guys all give up and lose and or die, then the odds of the battle will substantially swing in our favor. And as long as we have these units able to support the general, then we'll be in better shape. Tell you what, I'm going to send these guys now. The general's about to die, so we need to get these guys over there right now. Damn! The general has left. He's not really a general, he's just the settlement leader. But we did not get to him fast enough, and now he's running. Alright, well now let's get the archers to deal with these very heavy melee infantry. We're going to have these guys come in. This is our healthiest melee unit remaining. Wow, this is actually not going that well. Very frustrating. Alright, so these units need to come over here. Cavalry, pay a visit to these guys, please. Let's get all the cavalry together first. The cavalry are my most precious possession on the field right now. And they're not all listening. They're all tangled up in these units over here. Very frustrating. Okay, the archers are actually holding their own against these noble swordsmen, which is good. Cavalry, what the hell are you doing? How many times have I given you that charge order? Go! The longer I play this campaign, the angrier I get at Attila's cavalry AI. It's so stupid. When you play a strategy game, you expect it to obey orders, and it just doesn't. I love the map game of Total War Attila, which is why I spend so much time on the map, but I get very flustered with the real-time game because of just the order nonsense. I realize it's perfectly playable in a lot of ways, but in a lot of ways, let's face it, it's not. There's some serious issues. All right, let's go ahead and let's get archers back in place to attack those guys here. All right, we are going toe-to-toe with these crossbowmen, and they are losing. There's a lot more of them than us, though. There's 18 horsemen and 60 crossbowmen. So it's not a perfect situation. Tell you what, let's go ahead and get these troops down there to help out. You might have seen a moment ago that I am positioning my archers on this wall here to fire at these guys. The game... Oh, no. The crossbowmen are actually winning against the cavalry. Cavalry withdraw. We can't afford to lose them. Damn it! We lost them. See, this is the disadvantage of having a garrison do your defense. See, now the crossbowmen are going to be able to run. It's going to be harder to catch up with these guys. Very frustrating. All right, let's get these guys to Testudo up. We're still winning, for all intents and purposes. But it's we're on shaky ground. Killing these crossbowmen will make the game think we're doing a lot better than we actually are, because this is a substantial amount of their remaining force. Okay, the battle is starting to swing more heavily in our favor now, probably because we're winning this situation here. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to set up the archers right here, so that as these guys come in... No, just fire. Alright, now they're going to get shot at from both sides. They can't fight in two directions at once. See, we're still chasing... This is why we couldn't lose the cavalry. We're still chasing these crossbowmen across the frickin' map. Alright, they've turned their backs on the other Oath Takers here, and the Oath Takers are getting cut down by arrows from behind. Okay, good. That's it. We won. Pyrrhic victory. Holy crap. So we killed 549 of their men. We lost 318. Thankfully, again, that was a garrison army. But that is a large force of the Suebians. So really whittling them down, and we'll probably be able to eliminate them in the start of our turn here, will be a big help. Unfortunately, that kind of derailed my intentions. I was going to fight 2 battles this episode. I was going to fight, like I said, the one for Asturica and the one for Aquae Sextiae, but guess not. Pyrrhic victory. Let's go ahead and just take on warriors. Because we don't... God knows we don't need to ransom the captives. The Roman Empire has plenty of money. And we are the Roman Empire again, which is great. We control Rome. So now it's just a matter of re-securing... We actually have more territory than we ever did before, historically speaking. But we still have to recapture Britannia, as well as Iberia, which we've talked about this episode already. Alright, the Marians are messing with me. Again, this is my pet peeve with Attila. Why the hell were these animations not sped up? I feel like I'm complaining more and more about Total War the more I play it, and I feel bad about that. But just the flaws in the game compared to some of the other games I play are... Oh, interesting. They're attacking Tironum with a really weak army. I'm going to go ahead and just fight them off aggressively. And hopefully not lose any units. We did not lose any units. Very good. And they're backing off. So that was Gaul. That might even be the last of Gaul. It's actually not, but it's close. Once again, here's this agent, and they're going to do their full animation nice and slow, because that's just the way it is. Okay, hostile agent activity, encourage dissent. All right. Yeah, these are all their agents messing with us. I cannot wait for that to be done. All right, so we have, as you can see, we have 3 navies, one of which is heading to Caesarea to rebuild. But let's see what's going on here. Olisipo is still guarded pretty heavily. Let's see, where's the army that attacked Caesar Augusta? Is it just gone? It's probably just gone. All right, so how's Asturica? That army is still there. All right, so let's come over here then and have a look at what else we can do here. All right, so this army is the one that just attacked the army in Tironum. We're going to pay them a visit. Because they've attacked this turn, they were not able to run from us. So they're done. Totally done. And then this army here, I actually feel like is in a pretty good position. Tell you what, let's go ahead and do some converting here. This is very much needed. Actually, wait. What can I convert this to? Oh, sweet. I can just do a conversion to an auditorium. That's perfect. We're going to knock down this chapel. Or are we going to convert it? Let's convert it to a sacred shrine. Let's make this an aqueduct. Let's make this... Oh, no. We need to delete that. Delete that. And then this can be converted to... Yeah, delete that. I don't need military buildings here. I'm going to go ahead and move down to Elusa. I'm going to take control of this province. It's kind of spreading my army thin in the area a bit. It's leaving Bordeaux unprotected, but I'm actually kind of baiting them a little bit because I feel like I can hold the territory in the area, and if they try to attack it in the next turn, in the next episode, then I can come right back in with this army, which is fully healthy and ready to go, and really punish them for making that move. Speaking of punishment, let's head to Aquae Sextiae and go ahead and continue this siege. We're going to take this army and come in to back up the other one. And that is definitely a battle that we are going to fight. Now, Lugdunum, where can you go? Oh, hello. Hang on. We got to convert some stuff here. We've got some map management to do. Let's go with the Thermae. That's fine. Okay, dismantle that. Let's also go this direction, see what we can do here. We've already got a Thermae in the area, so just more food production will be fine. Legionary barracks, definitely. All right, Caesar Augusta was attacked while it was repairing, so unfortunately we have to take an additional turn to take care of that. Terrico, let's build a Serapeum. I'm not really paying much attention, but I do want a religious building there. And then here we want a... No, we were breaking that down. All right, so that's going to get broken down. Elusa needs to be repaired because we just conquered it. Upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. Upgrade, upgrade. Corduba, what do you need? You need an auditorium. Absolutely. And then here, yes, this is the one I was thinking of. We need to build... Is it? No? Were we breaking this down too? Yeah, we were. Need to break that down for one more turn. So no, that's not the one I was thinking of. Breaking that down, breaking that down, breaking that down, breaking that down. Breaking that down. We've been breaking that down for a few turns now. Okay, so it looks like we are ready to build a little bit more in Caucasia, which is exciting, and we definitely need to build a thermae to help with sanitation in the region. So we'll work on that. Hyra is ready to be built. Speaking of sanitation, let's have a look at how we're doing here. Don't really need a sanitation building. We've already got a thermae here. So tell you what, let's go ahead and build local industry. Why not? Nisibis. Yeah, I can go ahead and dismantle that. Don't need it. We'll upgrade that library. Upgrade that. Okay, not ready to upgrade that just yet. Just go through the territory real quick before we end the episode, so we don't have to do as much map management at the beginning of the next one. How about that? I bet you wouldn't mind. Dismantle that stuff. We're still taking care of kind of rebuilding Rome a little bit. I say kind of rebuilding Rome. Like, we're thoroughly rebuilding Rome. But we're just still working on it. Alright, Octodurum. I feel like there was another settlement that I was just looking at. There it is. Upgrade that. Upgrade that, that, and that. Perfect. Lots of money being spent, but we've got it. We have the money. That is not an issue that we are facing right now. Okay, so quick review. We had to defend this territory a little bit, and honestly, this could happen a lot. I want to wrap this series up pretty quickly, but they have got... I mean, they're throwing a lot at us. These armies are not that strong, but when they hit undefended territory, since we are kind of still stretched thin a little bit. Well, we're not really stretched thin. We've got armies all over the place, but we are thinner than we will be once we're done taking control of Iberia. And they did slow us down in Iberia by attacking Caesar Augusta there. So we won that battle, thankfully, and the Suebians are... Actually, the Suebians might be gone. Let's have a quick look. No, they're not gone. Wait, are they? No, they're not gone. Yeah, but they're very close. Actually, if we go to the faction list and go to strength ranking, they will probably be... Yep, they're near the bottom. The Suebians and Gaul no longer really have any territory worth mentioning. Yeah, Gaul doesn't have any territory either. The Marians do. Hispania does. The Abdanians do. The Abdanians have a lot of territory. The Picts have Pictland, and the Caledonians share it with them. The Picts also control a lot of Londinium, and they share that with the Abdanians. So those are our major factions we have left to defeat. But again, their units are not that strong. So it's not going to be that much of a challenge, knock on wood, to deal with them. They just might do annoying things to kind of push us back, and we'll see how that goes. But I will go ahead and cut this one here, and in the next one we're going to jump into actually moving on the rest of Iberia as planned, and also moving on Aquae Sextiae since we have it under siege. We want to see what they do this next turn with those armies they have nearby. They might initiate the battle, which could be in our favor. So thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to follow along. New historical and grand strategy videos air daily at noon Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in a bit.